Hello, hello, hello. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't been asleep yet. So we're gonna get that out there. I'm still up from yesterday, and it's because I was on the phone with my father today, um, and basically, talk about anything, everything. So it led me to the point of knowing that I didn't deal with my past situations. I just basically covered it up and moved on. Like basically, okay, it happened and I moved on. So what am I talking about? That's easy. I'll get to tell you. Um, I am a survivor of child abuse, molestation, and rape. Okay, so maybe that explains some of my sporadic videos here. That's just random and there's no real point to most of them. But the bitterness I held on for so long. I am originally from Memphis. I relocated 6 hours away from my home, and I haven't seen my family in about 3 years. Why? Because of the trauma in Memphis. And the fact that after talking with my dad, a lot of lies that was told to me over the years come to light. I've heard both sides, and right now I'm adult and I don't live in the States, so nobody would get anything out of line to me right now. So I believe them. And it turns out that when I was born, I spent 18 months with my dad. I don't remember any of this. Of course, I was 18 months. So let's start from where I remember. That was just important. From the age of 8 years old until 17, when I left to go to Job Corps, I was raped by absolutely every single man that my mom ever brought into the house, and a stepson and a neighbor. So basically, my head was fucked from the age 8. Um, it wasn't all the way through 17, 14. My dad came and got me, and I stayed with him till I was 16, and that was a whole nother group of physical abuse, or what black people call a whooping. But when you do it to a 14-year-old girl that's been raped her whole life until you came and got her, already tried to commit suicide several times, and then you beat her. Um, Quite frankly, I spent 2 years of that time in a mental hospital because right after he beat me, I was unconscious because I tried to kill myself. But I mean, what the fuck do you expect to happen when you take somebody that's already traumatized, instead of trying to help and understand why they don't talk and why they do certain things, you beat them, which is more trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma. So after I left there, I moved with my grandma, which was the next line of defense for me. And I thought it was going to be better, which it wasn't. It was just basically a prison. It was a whole nother prison. And her means of punishment was there was barely any food there. And I know for a fact that she was getting food stamps to me, but I don't know where they was going because they sure as hell wasn't going in the house for me to eat. I'm pretty sure she was putting them to other people and mostly to next door because she was a minister at a church of where it was like only 4 members. But for some reason, there was always good food over there, but it was never anything to eat in the house. I was rebellious. After everything that happened to me, I thought, well, if they can take it and they can beat me and they can treat me like shit, then I can give it the fuck away. So I did just that to a man that I thought was 25. Turns out he was the same age as my parents. And 11 years later, he molested my daughter. So there's that. We're going to just skip over him altogether. But with that being said, how I got into my dad's custody because I didn't get there, let's backtrack. I called him. It was after he called himself whooping my ass. And by he, I mean I don't want to give details because I don't know how much of my family can find my page. It's literally in my government name. But after a certain one of the molestees, the ones that raped me, decided to be a parent and wanted to discipline me by beating me with the belt I called my dad. I left out a lot of the story. I didn't tell him about the rape. I just told him about that. But it eventually came out. You kind of notice when you get your 14-year-old daughter and you take her for a physical and there's no virginity there and there's no boy in my life. You got to figure out where the fuck the virginity went. It was gone a long time ago though, but my mom didn't tell him shit. He didn't know about Larry. He didn't know about Terrell. He only knew about the once and that the one time, and that was Ricky. He didn't know about all the other times. She hid that. And to find out she was the reason that he couldn't actually come face to face and help me because she threatened him with the police, because she told him he couldn't see me, like that was her choice. I spent all night tonight trying to figure out what in my soul is not sitting right with me. And to have everything that's going on and everything that's happened to me and to be molested and brutalized not by some stranger on the street, not by somebody at a church, and not by any of this, but all this abuse and all this pain coming from my bloodline. How the fuck could I stay at home? And yes, I'm struggling out here. But I wasn't able to even get the courage to speak my truth until I was 26 years old and out here. So, yes, I'm a little bit on the bitter side. But it's because I was told my whole life what happens in my house stays in my house. Every black person's heard that. So all the abuse, the rape, the beating me with a extension cord until there was blood, that was okay. It wasn't okay that I talked back. It wasn't okay that I was getting straight F's. And it wasn't okay that fucking CPS was coming around because they kept finding new cuts on me. Not the little vertical attention seeking ones, but straight up. I was trying to be done with it. I didn't want them to be able to stitch me back up. I didn't want to fucking survive. I swallowed a handful, a couple of pills, I don't know how many times. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm here. But I guess they say your past makes you who you are. And for me, my past is dark. My past is painful. And I'm not over it to this day. I don't have a lot of friends because I'm so scared to let anyone around my daughter and my sons because of what happened to me, not by the hands of strangers, but those who were supposed to protect me were the very ones not doing so and causing the harm. And I've kept my mouth shut. And I live with it because I didn't want to embarrass the family. But how much more can you keep to yourself? How much more can you suffer when you can't even sleep at night? 2 days of this. 2 days of this. I have literally not been to sleep yet. And I'm tired. But my mind won't let me sleep. And I know what it is. Both of my parents are sickly right now. Both of them had different surgeries. And both of them are just not well. And I should be devastated. And any child that loves their parents, once the first one had the surgery and the second one had the surgery, would go back home to take care of their parents. And I have no intentions of ever going home. And I feel bad for that. Because even though I was beaten by my daddy, because he didn't know how to raise us, he didn't know anything, and grandma was gone. And Miss Joyce tried, but his temper is everything that's mine. So in order to correct and teach respect, that means beat the hell out of you if you do something he don't like. My mama wasn't the best either. Here, rape my daughter. Here she go. Here, I like you too. You can have my daughter too. You can have her too. Here, take her. You can have her. Here, I don't like that bitch. I was just a gift to give her man toys. And that's what it felt like. I was just a gift. Hey, if you get with me, you can fuck my minor daughter. That's what it fucking feels like. No apologies. No, I'm sorry. I did the best I could. No taking responsibility at all. How are you going to blame an 8-year-old? How are you going to blame a 9-year-old? We can keep going up the ladder, but how are you going to blame me for what's your responsibility as a parent? Your responsibility is to protect your child. And I don't think my parents even know what the fuck that means. And they are so close with so many sicknesses, and I should be able to just forgive. They learn their lesson, but when they don't admit their wrongdoings and they try to push the blame, well, your mom did, well, your dad did. Look here, both of you fucked me over. I do not have a side. I do not like neither of you. I got a child that neither one of y'all have seen outside of a picture. Is that not clear enough in your mind to understand that I will never, never trust you again? I will have no relationship with you. I can talk to you over the phone and I can try over the phone, but I don't think I would ever be able to step to these people face to face before it's too late. I'm having trouble with forgiving. I'm having trouble with forgetting because when you can sit there and I can tell you what color the bed and the pattern on it was when I first got raped, and I was at 8, when I can describe to you what the house looked like and what the furniture looks like and what the table looked like and what was on the goddamn TV, and I can remember all that shit, I can't forget. So how the hell am I supposed to forgive? It's implanted in my mind. I've moved on. I don't talk about it to my kids, and I don't let the anger and the hate affect my relationship with them, so I lock it in a box. And then I talk to a therapist twice a week just to keep myself spiffy for my kids. Because mom can't have problems. Mom can't be weak. Mom can't cry. Moms don't do that. I had a whole lot of me from a whole lot of people to make other people happy for something I can never forget. I want to forget. And if anybody's interested in the full story, you can comment below. I don't ask people to subscribe because I probably get uncomfortable with so many people. But I know it's going to happen eventually if I keep putting videos up here. But I don't know if I can call myself a survivor if I haven't gotten over it. Is that even allowed? Or am I still just a victim? That's the question for the ages now, isn't it? I'm going to go watch TV, I guess. The kids should be up in 2 hours. I'll try again to sleep tomorrow night.